few months ago, I used to think that I was getting absolutely tons of work done, but I did not realize that for the majority of that time spent, I was actually wasting my time or not using it as efficiently as I could. And you could be making the same mistake as me. So, the mistake I was making was I was actually doing a lot of what you're going to learn is called shallow work. And with this shallow work, I was just like multitasking a ton and like doing these tiny little things that felt really productive, like going from to A to B to C to D. And I was like, I gotta do the chores, and then I gotta clean up the thing, and then I gotta quickly write that thing on my computer, and then I need to go and do that other thing. And I was just all over the place, and I was not really focused on one thing at a time, and it felt really productive, like I'm getting all these things done, I'm going all over the place. But at the end of the day, when you look back on the progress of those shallow tasks, it's like you did a bunch of really small things that aren't really that important. So the mistake I was making is I was really motivated to do the shallow work because like it was just quick and easy to do. It wasn't like hard, long work where you just sit there and you grind it out. It was more like fun little things that you get to complete, like, oh, I did this and oh, I did that. It was a mistake because shallow work does not give you as much results. It doesn't yield as much from the time spent. That's what's unfortunate about shallow work. So, something about the shallow work, you may know what I'm talking about, but it feels really productive, as I said, but it does not require any focus whatsoever, and it's kind of like the YouTube Shorts version of work or the TikTok version of doing actual work. So obviously it's like watching like pointless YouTube videos is bad to begin with, but then watching like YouTube Shorts is just even worse. Well, on the flip side, I guess, working is good to begin with, but doing those little shallow tasks, it's not bad, but it's not as good, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I'm gonna leave this in or not, but my video was just interrupted. I've had these videos interrupted all the time by my sisters screaming at each other and hurting each other. I might leave this in, I might just cut this out. But it's really, really sad to see. Anyways, so, as I mentioned before, shallow work, shallow tasks require much less motivation to do than another type of work called deep work. Deep work actually requires a lot of effort, a lot of focus, a lot of mental energy, and a lot of motivation to get started doing. And I often find myself in, like, I'm not even the best at this, and I'm like, okay, I need to record that video, and I'm like, I'll record tomorrow, let me just do this other thing and then this other thing because I have a lot of things I need to get done. But if I really put both these things on the scale, all these things can wait for tomorrow and this needs to be done now. There's a question, a phrase, which I really like a saying, or like it's more of a rule actually, but it goes like this. When you are making a decision and you've got like two or three options, we'll say, choose the option which is the harder of the two or the hardest to do. Choose that option because most of the time, usually, that will be the right option over the things which are easier for you to do now. And I can really see this through shallow work and deep work when you're like, okay, should I do these shallow tasks or should I do this deep task and really focus on that for a couple hours instead. And usually it's the deep work which is the harder thing to do and is usually the right thing to do. So literally, you can practice this. It'll come up today, I'm sure, it'll come up tomorrow. You can literally, you're in a situation, you can just be like, this or this, which one's the harder one to do? Choose the one which is more difficult for you to get started, more like mentally challenging, like a mental barrier that you have to go through to start this thing. Like when like you're in the shower and it's like cold shower or hot shower, what should I choose? Well, it would be more difficult for me to take a cold shower. Like there's more resistance in taking a cold shower than a warm shower where it's just comfortable and nice. The cold showers, it's painful, it's cold. you don't want to do it. But that's the one that's going to build your discipline. That's the one that's better for you. It doesn't work in every situation though, keep in mind. But most situations where you have to ask yourself that question, those are usually the situations where it's going to matter the most. So I do actually want to teach you guys something which is really useful. But this is how to get deep work done, how to start doing deep work, how to do deep work. Now, I want to mention that shallow work, obviously, it has a time and a place. Like most of the tasks, which are shallow, you still have to do those. Those still need to be done, either by you or someone who will do it for you. But where shallow work does not have a place is in the middle of your deep work, getting distracted. You cannot let shallow tasks, simple little distracting, unimportant tasks to interrupt your deep work flow. This is an absolute no, this is not a thing that you can do if you're in deep work, because it will absolutely wreck your focus and attention when you are working. So if you really want to do deep work, one of the best things you can do is to just remove the distractions from your environment, from where you're working. Just absolutely get rid of everything, turn everything off, so you can just focus on the one thing, like the one pen and paper or the one computer monitor with the one tab. Just get rid of everything else that's open or on your desk or anywhere else. Just eliminate all the distractions. That way you can just focus on the one singular task which is on hand, which is the priority of your deep work. Another thing with deep work is it's not deep work if you're just doing it for like 5 or 10 minutes or something, or just some quick little, let me write my thing out. With deep work, you really gotta hunker down, you really gotta focus, you really gotta grind for like an hour plus, like hours, multiple hours of just focusing on one task. For example, I got home from work and then I got on my computer and I wrote down the shots list, or not the shots list, the script for this video, and then I got interrupted because like dinner, and I was selling a thing as well to someone, and that was fine, right? That was fine. Little distractions, like I guess it was a little break. Like I still focused for an hour. That was a good period of time. And then I came in and I was still on that deep work mindset when I came back. And then that's what I'm doing right now. I'm here right now and I'm recording a video. And as I said, I'm actually surprised it plays into the theme of this video so well. But in the middle of recording, I got distracted by like my sisters who were being loud upstairs, and that distracted me and that took my time away, and I came back down here distracted, and I had to get back into like a workflow. Most of the time, distractions, you're not really going to be able to control them all the time, so it is important to focus on the things that you can control. And maybe if you're not my age, you're not a teenager living at home, or just an adult living at home, even if you're really on your own, or you live in your own house, or you're an older person, like then obviously you're gonna get distracted by other people less. Like for me, there's important messages on my phone which I need to see, which I need to have notifications for. If you're really living on your own in your own house, most notifications from your phone aren't gonna be like immediately you need to do this, or at least a lesser amount of them should hopefully be. So, as I've said, deep work is hard to do. It's not as easy as shallow work. One of the reasons for this is it's hard to find like the motivation to get into the deep work flow, and I actually talked about this a little bit in my pain versus pleasure video. That one was a little while back. That was like 7 or 8 videos ago or something. That video is really valuable, and I would recommend that you watch this if you're new on my channel or you haven't seen it before, to go back and watch that video. The other reason why deep work is difficult to do is because of how distracting the modern world is. Like, for example, if you went way back, if you went to like, the bushes ages, the stones ages or whatever, it was just like you in a forest. There's not that many distractions, but nowadays it's like notifications there, notifications here. There's that thing you really need to do. There's a million other things which we've created which are important that you need to do. There's just so many things in this modern world that are super distracting. But in order to do deep work, you need to remove as many of these distractions as you can, and I'm going to show you how. Now this is just one of the things we're going to talk about, but a huge distraction for doing deep work is your phone, your iPhone. Now I've got multiple tips which you can use to silence your iPhone. I'm not just going to talk about the normal, like the airplane mode or whatever. I've got a few different ideas here that you might not already be doing, so watch this. And even if you're thinking, I'm not going to silence my iPhone, or I really need my iPhone, I need to use it, I've got a few that even you might be able to use to silence it to an extent. Okay, I admit this is going to be a little bit weird, but I got my phone right here, as you can see, and I'm going to walk through with you what you should be doing to make your phone less of a distraction. So first, obviously, go to your settings app. That's where you're going to be able to change a lot of the things which are distracting you on your phone. So go to the settings app. This is an actionable step. Go to the settings app on your phone, grab it and go to the settings app. So this is the number one thing I'm going to talk about. This is the lightest thing that you can do, and that's to literally go on your phone. This is a setting where you can turn off the like where your screen turns on when you look at your phone. I'm going to show you how to turn that off real quick. So, wait, hold on. Go to search, go to like display, or something like display and brightness, and then raise to wake. Wait, hold on, it's right here. If I can focus it, raise to wake. Click on that. I've got that turned off right here. But if you turn that on, it turns on when you do that. And if you go to your settings, hold on real quick. I got up right here, and you turn that off. In the background here. Hello. It doesn't turn on. And that's a huge help when you're moving your phone around, and then you might just see like some notifications sitting there that you really want to look at. So the next thing I'm going to talk about with making your phone less of a distraction is you can actually go to the individual app, like go to notifications. To notifications, as I said. I'm doing this with you, so it's a little slow. But you can go here and you can see which apps. You can do the same thing with cellular data. That's how I found out about this. And I actually don't know why some of these still have notifications on. You can go to these apps and you can turn off the individual notifications. So if you have like Snapchat or YouTube on your phone, or like TikTok or some useless app, you can literally turn off the notifications for that. Most people know this is not like a huge new thing, like, oh my goodness, I never knew. But you can turn off the notifications for most of those things that you don't need at all. And that's a really helpful thing if you still have those on, and you're noticing that you can't do deep work and that you can't focus and you can't be productive. So the last thing you can do is there's a silent button on the side of your phone. You probably knew this already. If you have an iPhone at least. I don't know about like Android or whatever. But you can just turn on silent mode on or off. When you're working, you can turn silent mode on. And then another thing you can do is you can swipe up, and then there's like do not disturb. There's like a little moon. You can click that. You can go into do not disturb mode. And then for the really extreme people who just like, they know they're not going to get any important notifications, or at least they think, you can go onto airplane mode and it will just absolutely silence your phone. Like there's no way it's going to distract you. But the best actual thing which you can do, the best thing that you can do is to just take your phone and get rid of it. Literally, go put it in the cupboard. And if your phone's all the way in the cupboard, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the cupboard to check your notifications every 10 minutes? I don't think so. Me personally, I keep my phone right here on the shelf, on the charging pad most of the time, just so it can be charging. And for me, when I'm sitting in my chair, like I got to reach for it, and that's enough to protect it from me. So what you could do is you could literally just put it on you could literally go put it on your windowsill. It's just somewhere further away than your arms reach, so you have to lean in and grab it at the minimum. Your phone is obviously not the only distraction. It's probably the biggest one. It's probably at least half of the distractions. Actually, more like 80%, 75% of the distractions that you're going to have. But the other distractions that I want to talk about is literally just what's on your desk. So I'm going to show you what my desk looks like real quick. Okay, let me change the focus. So I actually have my video script up here. I can put this away. I don't need this out. So what I have here is I got my monitor. I've got it tilted up right now so I can see it. But I've got the camera lens there for the camera because I was using it. I got my water bottle. I have some like decorative plants, and I admit I used to get like distracted. I don't even remember what I used to do, but I like spin it or something. I used to do this. So they're probably not the best, and they're probably not the most productive thing to have on my desk. And I've got like some toothpicks. I can like put one of those in my mouth if I need to pick my teeth or whatever. Like I just enjoy having one from time to time. But you'll notice that a lot of desk setups are actually just like super, super, super cluttered and just covered in like random papers and like random like money and stuff, or like random little bits and bobs and like fidgets or whatever. Those are going to distract you from your work. Every single item on your desk, think of it as like -1 point towards productivity in your work. And guys, what's really going to happen with your desk setup if you got it like way too cluttered and stuff is you like those things, you're going to randomly see that one paper and you're like, wait, is this a tax report? Is this overdue? You're going to think like some random thing is going to distract you. Or you're going to pick up like some random like fidget toy on your desk, or you pick up some random coin, just start spinning it, and then you're going to like, your mind's like, your body's already distracted, that's going to distract your mind next, and then you're just going to like start thinking about something else entirely, and you're literally going to be like, oh my goodness, I forgot about that one thing, and then it's a shallow task, and you're literally going to have to go and like, and you're going to go do that thing, and then you're going to break from your work, and you could literally just like ruin an entire hour or half an hour of productivity that you could have been having before. So I highly, highly recommend that you just take all these random things off your desk, and like, I know it's tough to find a place, but just find like another place to put it if you can, and just like absolutely clean it up and have it be as tidy as possible. I understand that some people need to have like these things on their desk so they can see it, but every single item on your desk is going to make you less productive in your work. Okay, the camera might be a little bit out of focus, a little bit on the wrong angle because I just put it back, but I just want to do the outro. That's it for the video. That is what I had to talk about today. And I really just wanted to share this with you because I recently realized how much time I was wasting just doing like these random little things and not actually getting down to doing serious, really productive work, like really work which is going to yield, like everybody says like productivity and stuff. When you say productivity, we're thinking about the work that's going to yield the most results, the most efficient way of doing something in the least amount of time possible. If you found this video useful, then subscribe to my YouTube channel, not just because I want you to subscribe, but because you might find actual value in my videos in the future. I want to make valuable videos on this channel, so subscribe if you want to get more, if you want to see more valuable videos on my YouTube channel. That's it, and I will see you guys in the next video, the next important video that I make.